I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher 33. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Whether you're conscious of it or not, you are always participating in magic. You are always manifesting something. Whether you believe in it or not, you are always making magic. You're always co-creating. And those at the top of the worldly power structures, they know this, and they know how to do it, and they are intentional in how they do it. And those who are uninitiated, unless you are initiated by someone in the know, or unless you take it upon yourself to take a red pill. If you're someone who starts to have the thoughts of saying, something is not right. The way I've been told things, the way I've been explained of how things at work, there's something off with that. And if you're one of these people who takes it upon yourself to take that red pill and wake up, then you start to understand these things as well. And you will probably watch a video like the one I'm about to make and share with you. But those who are still sleeping will probably just turn something like this off and dismiss it as crazy nonsense. But we're always manifesting. We are always co-creating. So I'm going to do a series on how that works. Now, most people get it wrong in that the way magic is portrayed in works of fiction, it's usually portrayed in a very dramatic, fantastical way. That's for entertainment purposes. That's to get our ego invested in a story, to get us excited. But the way it actually looks is far more subtle. And Nikola Tesla once said everything is frequency and vibration. Frequency and vibration. And this frequency and vibration combined with emotion, combined with intention, is the formula for magic. And I'm going to do a series of the different ways that this works. And so this video is going to be all about sound. There's a Van Halen song, On Fire, and some of the lyrics to that, David Lee Roth screams out, are, turn your radio on. I'll be right there. Turn me up real loud. I'm in your ears. And right there, in that phrase, that verse of the song On Fire, David Lee Roth talks about one of the mechanisms of sound and how you have this concept of an entity that's coming from the voice. If you had no concept of that voice and what's attached to it, that being David Lee Roth's voice and the sound from the song On Fire, but when you hear it, then it starts to make an impression on you, makes an impression on your consciousness. And whether you love it or whether you hate it, if you're paying attention to it, then it starts to become part of you. You start to have an entity start to join in your consciousness that was previously not there. And that would be whatever your brain is perceiving the voice that's spitting out those lyrics to be. The voice of David Lee Roth. He's now there in your consciousness, just like I am when I'm speaking to you through this video. And The Bible says it. Everything started with the Word. Logos, the Word. Everything, the universe was created with the sound. The frequency of sound started everything. And again, the example I made of David Lee Roth, it's kind of like a spell almost being cast. That's a human voice singing there, and the lyrics, again, turn your radio up, I'll appear right there, turn me up, real loud, I'm in your ears. That's using sound, again, to bring us an image in our consciousness, an association with those words. But magic also works with subliminal frequencies, just tones. Music that doesn't have any words necessary. Just think of the way a piece of music moves you, what kind of mood it puts you in. Think of what a soothing piece of classical music, what that does to your mood. Or if you go into a spa, there's always music there. It's usually very hypnotic, relaxing, to put you in a certain state of being. This is magic. This is using the magic of sound. Think about if you walk by a construction site, there's lots of machinery going, jackhammers, bulldozers. What does that sound do to your state of being? And so now we think again about everywhere we go as well. Like there's always music playing. If you go to a supermarket, you go to a gas station, you go to a gym, you go to any type of commercial establishment in the matrix, always going to have music, and it's usually some type of pop music playing. Why is that? Why is that? And once again, my belief is this is very intentional. When we hear something, it has a certain frequency, and especially if we are bombarded with that frequency, it changes our consciousness. And when our consciousness changes, what comes out of us, the way we show up in the world, changes. So we start to co-create with whatever those sounds are putting into us. And again, most people are just simply unaware. They're just walking around the sea of energy, the sea of sound, just taking it all in. They may hear a song that repeats in their head over and over again, a pop song that they keep hearing here on the radio, they hear in a supermarket, they hear in a gym, because now it's all the same. Whatever's on the radio is also reinforced at a supermarket, at a gas station, at a gym. And they keep hearing it in their head. And they say, I can't get that song out of my head. And a lot of times people will even buy, even though they're hearing it all the time, they'll go and buy an album or buy the song on iTunes or Spotify, whatever, and start to give their energy towards the source of that particular song. And once again, how they act, how they show up in the world is now influenced by that sound and what's associated with those sounds on the subtle level. So when we're intentional, again, for the magician, so you can cast a spell out into the world if you have that power. And you're always casting spells, but like say, if you have the power of media, you have huge amounts of power behind you to cast spells using the frequencies of sound, and I'll talk about the frequency of light in my next video. But a conscious magician, they can cast spells on themselves. They can use sound intentionally to alter their consciousness. They can use it to remove things they don't want in there with the power of the sound of words. Words such as no, such as I am not, no, negation, to create boundaries, to pull something out of you. And they can also use affirmations, the I am affirmations, to reinforce a state of being, reinforce what they desire to become. And conscious musician and magician can use, again, negation and auto-suggestion combined with tone, with music, understanding what sounds put them in a certain feeling, and combine all that to put themselves in a certain state of mind so they can show up in a way that they want to intentionally show up and co-create in the world. Very powerful stuff. And again, when you start to understand just how powerful the sound frequency is, it changes the way you look at the world. Sometimes you start to go at a place and you immediately pick up on the spell that were being attempted to be cast on you, and you can start to set a boundary. When you start hearing an annoying song in your head or a repetitive phrase, you can start to put a boundary, move it out of you. And on the other side of that, you can intentionally put something in, reinforce something that you desire. So that being said, I'm going to end this transmission. And right now, you can turn the shadow teacher up, and I'll be in your ears, I'll be in your head, if that's what you desire. And guess what? If you hate me, if you're triggered by me, all the better, because I'm still going to be there too. So that being said, I'm going to end the transmission. Be strong, be well, my friends. I will see you on the other side.